there's this aroma of hops, very dominant. Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Lüning, Horst Lüning. I'm the master taster of Whisky.com, and today we have a brand new bottle here on my cask. It's what is it? It's a spirit drink. It's no liqueur. There's no sugar in it. It's no blend. It's no blended whiskey because it has only 35 absolute by volume. So it's a spirit drink, and it's called Boxing Hares. You can see a red one and a gray one, and sometimes on the fields there you can see hares boxing, really very, very rarely. And on the back there is a small icon here where you can see a hare on his back legs and boxing at a hop. Yeah. So how are they called, those fruits, dolls of hops? Yeah. So this is a mixture of a Scotch blended grain. So several grain whiskey distilleries delivered grain whiskey to this spirit drink, and then there are hops in it. They are hops from, American hops for craft beer, as well as German hops from a region close to Munich called Hallertau. And in this region I visited a farmer for hops and had a look at their drying floors, and the furnace and the heating and the drying of the hops looks very much like making malt in Scotland. So there's a parallel in between. This bottle was invented by a company called Whisky Union, and the Whisky is written with an E in front of the Y. So it's the American or Irish way of writing whiskey, called Whisky Union, but it contains blended grain Scotch whiskey. So, there might be some other whiskies coming up in the future, and this spirit drink may be headed for the US market, so they use the popular writing of whiskey from there. But it's, from my point of view, in the beginning, where there's only Scotch whiskey in it, there's a second bottle, which is a blended Scotch. And then writing whiskey in the name, it's unauthentic. No. D. What's written here in the back? Unlikely rivals they might be, but Boxing Hares is a unique liquid that comes from pairing blended grain Scotch whiskey with the hop extracts you find in craft beers and malt flavorings. The hops, I think 100 years ago, they found a process how to separate the bitter flavors from the hops from the rest of the plant, and this substance is called, I think, lublin. And this lublin is small yellow powder, and they are put into tins, and those tins are shipped worldwide. And whenever you are brewing your craft beer, then you open a tin, put it in, and 1 or 2 tins on a batch, and you're up and running. Delicious whiskey character is one corner pitted against the refreshing taste of beer hops in the other. Just add ice and lemonade and you've got yourself one champion whiskey shandy. I don't know what a shandy is. Probably a drink. And here's this icon of the Whisky Union. Yeah. So it's cheap. Metal cap, I don't like them. And this bottle is about 22 euros. And for a spirit drink, 22 euros is quite a lot. So they do not only invent a new class of spirit drinks, grain whiskey with hops, but they also invented a new class of increasing profits. Well, we will see how long the price of these Boxing Hares will stay that high, because other spirit drinks are far less in pricing. Yeah, we'll see. So it's not sweet. This is no liqueur. There's no sugar or glycosis, syrup in it. There's this aroma of hops, very dominant. Yeah, it's the most intense flavor in this spirit drink. Because, well, grain whiskey is not that intense as malt whiskey is, and, well, grain whiskey is a lot cheaper than malt whiskey. And so the boxing pair, the hops and the whiskey, are quite unequal. The hops are much more powerful than the grain whiskey. If they would have added malt whiskey and hops, then might be that there would be, well, a fight between equals, but here the hops is so dominant. When you enter such a drying floor for hops, there's this intense bitterness, aromatic taste, and I can remember this very well. So it's just 60 miles from where I live, where these hops are grown. Quite smooth and silky in the mouth, and then bitterness, real bitterness, and not the bitterness of oak casks, but the bitterness of these hops. And I'm afraid I'm no beer drinker. I don't like beer. It's so bitter and weird, and so I'm coming from the wine. And I like it very much that whiskey is not produced from beer with hops, but from straight beer, just from malt. And the hops were put into the beer in former times because they hindered this bitterness, hindered bacteria from growing fast in the beer. And so the hops stayed to the beer over the centuries, and in the whiskey it wasn't necessary to prevent from bacteria because it was distilled, and the high alcoholic content helped the spirit or the whiskey to stay bacteria free. No, so this is quite bitter. It's quite pleasant in the mouth, but as soon as you swallow and empty your mouth, then the bitterness arises, and no. Probably with a sweet lemonade and some ice, which hinders the flavors to grow and rise, then it might be savorable for me, for my personal view. So this is really a new spirit drink, a new class of spirit drinks, and we'll see how they will make it on the market. And if I remember right, there are some bourbons on the market where the beer used for making bourbon contains hops. Yes, I think so. Don't know which one. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned. There's more to come, and whiskey and spirit drinks.